Hi and welcome to Halloween Crafts with Wicklow County Library Service. My name is Vita, I work in Bray Library, and today I'm going to show you how to make your very own spell books. Yeah, and decorate them. So the basis of the craft is quite simple bookbinding, which is like sewing paper together. Yeah, folding and sewing. And then to decorate we're going to do some cutting out and some sticking, yeah, and some drawing. So for this craft, what you'll need is some string or thread like this, a darning needle like this. You can get plastic ones too, but if you get plastic ones, you're going to need something pointy to make the holes with before you pass through the holes. Okay, with this one. So first of all, you need to make the holes, and then you weave in and out. You sew. Okay. You will need some Pritt stick for decorating, a bit of tissue paper, some things to hold the pages all in place while you sew. So I have like a peg and some hair clips, some curvy grips like that, and a paper clip. Any of those types of things will do, or you can get special kind of book paper clamps, but it's not necessary. Anything like this will do fine. And then paper wise, I have kind of pad of card like that. It doesn't need to be card, any kind of paper will do. So I cut one of those in half, like that. And then I have some just A4 paper that I've cut in half as well, printer paper. So we're going to start by folding everything in half. So be sure to give it a good sharp fold like this. I like to use my nail, but you can put it down on something and use a ruler to push it down if you like, kind of drag it across. Or some people have paper folders, or if I'm doing lots of pages I use this butter knife and I just lean on it and push. You can't see that, but so I just kind of push it down. Yeah. So once these are done, I get my outside page and I fold that one in half, the same. Now, and then I put my inside page in my outside page. So you can have a choice here. You can have them all the same size. They can be all the same size, or you can have one slightly bigger than the other, or you could trim it down if you wanted. It doesn't really matter either way. So that's done. So I'm going to use my pegs and my hair clips to hold all this in place. So that's centered, yeah. So nice peg and a hair clip and a paper clip. So you can really just do this with stuff you find about the house. That's the idea. Okay, so that just keeps the paper in place. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to thread our darning needle. So where is the end of this thread? Here it is. Now, so I like to use just kind of the length of my forearm, so it doesn't get too tangled. That should be enough, just beyond the length of my forearm. Obviously, if you're measuring against a child, it will be more than their forearm. So yeah, about that much. And I'm just going to pull to break it, or I can't use my scissors. There we go. So then the next thing I like to do is I use just some wax. You can use a candle to do this, or you don't have to do it at all. It just seals the thread and stops it from splitting and makes it a little bit watertight and makes it last longer and be a bit stronger. All those things. It also makes it easier to thread the needle. Now this is just, oh yeah, this is my piece of cardboard for cutting and working on so I don't wreck my table. Top tip. Now, so when you're threading the needle, you just go through it once. Yeah. And then with this here, you pass the tip of the needle through the middle of the threads. Like that. And that gives you a kind of knot of sorts. Yeah. And you can kind of, if you've waxed it, you can do that as well, which will stick it all together. Okay. You don't need to tie a knot on the bottom or anything. So next, you have to make the holes. So you can be very precise if you like, and you can get your ruler out and measure exactly the center and then an inch from either end, or you can just kind of guess. It doesn't really matter, it just depends on how precise you like to be. So I'm going to say that's the middle there, and then I usually use my thumb as a guide for the outer ones, and that way at least they're even, they're the same. If they're not perfectly an inch, it doesn't matter. Okay, so can you see? 3 holes. So now we're going to start sewing. So you take your darning needle, and you always start from the inside of the book because you want to end up with the tails inside here so you can tie them together. So the knot, you can't see the knot from the outside, then it looks neater. So this way. In or out. And you leave a little tail here so you can tie the knot at the end. And then I'm going to go up here. And then back here. So pull it quite tight. Oh, and be careful, do you see here, when I've come back out, I kind of split the threads again, and you don't want to do that, it'll get really messy. So just make sure you're going kind of the side where the thread goes in, not through the thread. Okay. And then in. Now, see? Perfect. So I'm going to get my scissors again and give this a snip. I'll just show you where I'm cutting. I'm cutting about there, yeah? And then tying as close to the middle as I can. Just a double knot. Okay. And you can take all these guys off now. Put your needle away. You don't get poked. And snip these nice and short. You can tuck them in. You can see. Okay, so that's the first bit done. That's the book made. Well done, you've made your first book. Now